Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to be learning about coordinate geometry. Specifically, we're learning today about the coordinate plane. Our objective for today is 5.8a and 5.8b, describing the key attributes of the coordinate plane, as well as being able to graph some of those points on the graph. And we do have a variety of new vocabulary words for today, so let's go ahead and get started in our word wall, inputting some of these words. The first word is going to be the coordinate grid. So we're going to go to the letter C. The next word is the x-axis. So for that, we need the letter X. X-axis. And on the letter X, we're also going to have the x-coordinate. Our next word is ordered pair, so we're looking for the letter O. The next word is origin, also in the letter O. Moving on to the letter P for point. And lastly, letter Y. For y-axis and y-coordinate. We can go ahead and now move on to the glossary and go ahead and write the definitions to this word. So let's go ahead and get started with the letter C, coordinate grid. The coordinate grid is a graph where we plot ordered pairs. We can now go ahead and move on to the letter O. And the word is ordered pairs. Ordered pairs are a set of numbers that tell us a location on the coordinate plane. And then we have another word in the letter O. The word is origin. The origin is 0.00 in the coordinate plane. Moving on to the letter P for point. A point in the coordinate plane is a location. Now we can go ahead and move on to the letter X. For x-axis. The x-axis is the horizontal line on the coordinate plane. And then we have the x-coordinate. The x-coordinate is the value of the x number. The value of the number on the x-axis. And these words will make a lot more sense once we start incorporating them into the plane. Moving on to the letter Y. We have the y-axis, which is the vertical line on the coordinate plane. And then we have the y coordinate, which is the number that gives value to the y-axis. The value of the y digit. Now we can go ahead and move on to our table of contents now that we've written in all these vocabulary words. Today is January the 16th, 2019, and today we are going to be working with the coordinate plane. And we are working on one page today, page 42 for me. And if you remember your score for your homework assignment, go ahead and write that in. And once you've done that, go ahead and turn to page 42. Okay. For our notes for today, boys and girls, we're going to be needing a glue stick. Make sure you have one of those. And one of these handouts. Okay. Let's go ahead and title our notes. Coordinate plane. And what is the coordinate plane? The coordinate plane, boys and girls, is a set of perpendicular lines that intersect at the origin. So perpendicular lines are two lines that cross and extend on forever. In this little point here where they intersect, that's where all lines start. They intersect there and they extend from here. They go over opposite directions forever. And from here, they go in opposite directions forever. So in other words, that's where it starts. That little spot there is known as the origin. This horizontal line that extends forever is known as the x-axis. And this vertical line that extends on forever is known as the y-axis. In 5th grade though, we only focus on one of the quadrants because a coordinate plane is made up of 4 quadrants. This is quadrant number 1, quadrant number 2, quadrant number 3, and quadrant number 4. In 5th grade, we specifically only focus on quadrant number 1, which is what we have right here. See, this would be the origin. So it would be right there. And these are the 2 perpendicular lines that extend. This one extends forever this way in opposite directions, and the x-axis extends forever that way in opposite directions. And we only focus on the first quadrant. So we only focus on this area in 5th grade, which is this right here. Like I already mentioned, boys and girls, all of this together is called the coordinate grid, the coordinate plane. Grid and plane are words that you'll hear them back and forth, but they both mean the same thing. So this is the coordinate plane, or sometimes they'll use the word grid. Both words are used interchangeably. The coordinate plane or the coordinate grid is made up of 2 lines. This line here, which is the horizontal, and this one here that goes up, which is the vertical. This horizontal line is represented with the letter X, and it's known as the x-axis. And this line right here, the vertical one, is represented with the letter Y and is known as the y-axis. Both lines intersect. They start right here at this 0. That is known as the origin. And if you ever want to write the origin using ordered pairs, then you would write parentheses 0, comma 0. Because to get there, you go 0 units to the right, 0 units up. So the ordered pair is going to be 0, 0. In this plane, the purpose of it is to put points on it. Just put points, which are locations. This little dot there is called a point. A point on the plane. And a point is labeled with 2 numbers. The first number, the 7, gives us the value of the number that it represents on the x-axis. So there's a 7 right there, because if you go down on this dot to your x-axis, the value would be 7. So because the 7 goes with the x-axis, the 7 is known as the x-coordinate. And this second value, the number 8, if you go across on your y-axis, you'll notice that there's a number 8 there. This number 8 represents the value of the y-axis. Therefore, this number 8 is known as the y-coordinate. So you have an x-coordinate, a y-coordinate, and they're put together with parentheses. They're a group, they're a pair. And together, both of these together are known as ordered pairs. So again, just a quick recap. The coordinate plane starts at 0, 0, known as the origin, where we have two lines that extend vertically and horizontally, which are known as the y-axis and the x-axis. In the plane, we find points, which are just points. That's just what they are, points. And these points have values. The x-coordinate is the value of the x-axis, and the y-coordinate is the value of the y-axis. And these two values together, in parentheses, are called ordered pairs. How does it work though? Let me give you a little bit of more information on how to be able to identify those points and be able to name them using coordinate pairs, or ordered pairs, I'm sorry. To do so, what you need is you need to think about this graph here, this coordinate plane, kind of like a map. It's a map, and there's locations inside of the graph that tell us where to go. And just to make it a little bit more fun, we're going to call this graph here the ABC's neighborhood. So this little map is a map of the ABC's neighborhoods. And here is where the alphabets live. All the letters of the alphabet live in this neighborhood here. For example, letter A lives in this neighborhood. And the letter A is having a party. And we're invited. She tells us that her party is at 6, and she gives us the directions. The directions for her party are 4, 6. Again, these 4, 6 together are called ordered pairs. So now it's 6 o'clock and we want to get to letter A's party. And to do so, we are going to enter the neighborhood through the origin. You always start at the origin. And we are going to drive 4 units to the right, 6 units up. And this is one very important thing to remember. You're always going to go right on up. You're going to move to the right, and then you're going to go up. This here, this 4, remember, is your x coordinate. So it tells us how to move on the x-axis. So I need to move 4 units to the right on the x-axis. So I'm going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need to move 6 units up on my y-axis, because remember, this is my y coordinate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Letter A lives there. That is a location of A. Let me give you another one. Letter B. Letter B lives at 5, 2. And to find B's house, we're going to go right on up. Always start at the origin. Move 5 units on the x-axis because this is your x-coordinate, and 2 units on your y-axis because this is your y-coordinate. We're going to go right and then up. Right on up. 5 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 units up. 1, 2. That spot there is a location of B. As we continue doing more of this, it's going to make more and more sense. Let's do another one. Let's do the location of C's house. C's house is located at 2, 3. And remember, we're going to go right on up. Right on up. 2 units to the right, 3 units up. And we always start at 0, 0, the origin. 1, 2, and then 3 up. 1, 2, 3. And that is the location of C. And all points on the coordinate plane are always represented with a capital letter. Let me give you another point. Let's do point D. D is located at 8, 6. And remember, we're going to go right on up. Right on up. 8 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 6 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D is there. Now let's do one just a little bit differently. I'm going to give you the location of the point in the graph, and then from there we need to figure out how to find the ordered pairs. We're going to go a little bit backwards. So it's going to be point E, and point E, let's just say it's right there. What I want to know is what are the ordered pairs for it? And remember that this is your x and that's your y coordinate, x and y. So to find the location of that point, to be able to find the ordered pairs, once I've been given a point, all I have to do is do the exact same steps. I'm going to start at the origin and move to the right and then go up. 1, 2 units to the right, so I'm going to put a 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units up. So I put a 9 there. The ordered pairs for point E are 2, 9. Very simple. Let's do another one. Again, I'm going to give you a point this time. Let me put the point right there. And it's going to be point F. How do I get to point F? What are the ordered pairs for F? It's very easy. You start at the origin and you move your way to the X and then to the Y, because I need my X coordinate and then I need my Y coordinate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units to the right, 10 units on the X axis, and then 1, 2 units up. 2 units on your y-axis. I'm going to give you one more, and this one's going to be just a little bit different. Let's do letter G. Letter G is located at 0, 3. So we're going to start here at the origin, and we're going to move 0 units to the right. In other words, we have to stay there. We don't move. And then we're going to move 3 units up. And letter G is located right there. Okay, boys and girls, remember that as you're working on your independent practice, that you are moving first to the right and then up. You're going to move right on up. Go ahead and turn to your page on your independent practice, and you can look at the agenda for that, and you can go ahead and get started.